Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Years of the Dragon. I'm your host, Mark Lloyd Masterson. And on this program, we talk about everything Bruce Lee. Years of the Dragon is also the title of my book, which examines the movies Bruce Lee would have made had he not passed away suddenly on July 20th in 1973. I certainly wondered what he might have been able to do with his career had he not passed away, so I decided to write a book about it. Here it is here. It's available on Amazon. This is the hardcover, $15.99, and the soft cover goes for $12.99. So on this episode, I just kind of wanted to sum up what I've been talking about over the last few episodes. I've been giving everybody a few little trailers, a few little hints about the book that I wrote. Um, Years of the Dragon really is based on kind of a manifesto that he wrote to himself in January of 1969, kind of like journaling. He sat down and wrote down a note that he thought that he would become um, the biggest Asian movie star starting in 1970 to the year 1980. And I'm sure he would have made it big in Hollywood. He was right on the brink of superstardom with Enter the Dragon. And I think he would have reached all of his goals. I also think that Bruce would have been um, still loyal to his partner Raymond Chow at Golden Harvest, and to his Hong Kong fans. So I still think that, and as I mentioned in this book, that he still would do some films for Golden Harvest, and even Shaw Brothers as well. But I saw him probably signing a three-picture deal with Warner Brothers, doing some other films in Hollywood, and also I think he'd continue to work with accomplished martial artists like Bob Wall, Jim Kelly, Chuck Norris, Angela Mao, Dan Inosanto. Well, also, I would have loved to have seen him co-star in a movie with Jun Rhee, the who's called the Grandmaster, the grandfather of Taekwondo. They were good friends, and Jun Rhee also wrote a book about his friendship with Bruce Lee. Would have loved to see them have done a movie together. And Jun Rhee did do a Hong Kong movie with Angela Mao, which came out, I believe, in 1973 as well. Would have loved to have seen him do a movie with Jun Rhee and also perhaps the Japanese star Sonny Chiba as well. But I think Bruce would have gone on to do more than just martial arts movies. He would have expanded his repertoire to do some action films, kind of like Chuck Norris, or sort of like Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood in that vein. And I also think because of his box office clout, it would have allowed him to star in some movies without martial arts. So he would have expanded again his repertoire to include some movies maybe with some comedy and some maybe straight dramas. But I think his box office success would have allowed him to do that and expand definitely. But I think all of his movies, Bruce would have done all of the choreography, the fight choreography. Bruce began doing that in Fist of Fury, released here in North America as The Chinese Connection. He gained more control over each film that he did in Hong Kong. And then, of course, he did the same for The Way of the Dragon, released here as Return of the Dragon. He was not only the writer and director, but he choreographed the fight scenes, and he did the same with Enter the Dragon. So I think he would have continued to do that. He was definitely a visionary when it came to that. The fight scenes that he choreographed are still some of the best ever done. But I think he would have continued to do that. And also because he was such a perfectionist and worked so hard, I think he would have limited himself to two, maybe three movies at the most per year. But we'll be talking more in the future about other aspects of Bruce's life as well. So we've covered the movies that he did up until from 1974 to 1980. And I have written a sequel. So that's going to be out in 2026. And it's going to cover the movies Bruce would have done from 1981 to 1990, which would have been his 50th year. But I will be exploring some other aspects of Bruce, his early life, growing up in Hong Kong, how he got discovered in Hollywood, some of the television shows that he participated in, and of course, him returning to Hong Kong and getting associated with Raymond Chow with Golden Harvest, and showing you where his career went there, and also sharing some anecdotes and things from the set of his movies. So we'll discuss his life, his movies, his philosophies, and a lot more on episodes to come. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you enjoy the videos that I'm making. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Also hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post something new. And also for those of you that are going to be in the North Carolina area, I will be at the Fayetteville Fan Fest on Saturday, October 18th and Sunday, October 19th to promote my book, Years of the Dragon. So check out the book on Amazon. You'll be glad you did. And remember, everybody, be water, my friends.